Good morning, sociology students. Today we continue with Unit 3, Deviance. A lot of this is review from our first day yesterday and was gone over in that crash course, but I'm going to buzz through here. So deviance we will define as the behavior or characteristics that violate existing social norms, oftentimes negatively valued by large numbers of people. Okay? Being rare does not equal deviance. An example would be being a redhead, right? Just because it's rare doesn't mean it's a deviant act. Your chances of becoming president, rare, but becoming president isn't a deviant act, right? As well as chances of becoming a millionaire or winning the Powerball. Just because it's rare doesn't always mean that it's deviant. Okay, deviance is absolutely relative between cultures. Okay, cultures and generations, right? Depending on the culture that you're in, ethnicity, religion, the women's status and role varies absolutely. So if it's deviant in one part of United States culture, for women to not go to school, and other parts of the world, that's women's status or role, and it wouldn't be considered deviant. So I just want you to keep in mind how deviance is relative between cultures. The other thing that deviance is relative between is generations, right? Like piercings, respect for authorities, sexual behavior. If you were to get a belly button ring in 1980, your parents would probably absolutely freak out. Maybe they still would today, but most have become a little bit more keen or okay with tattoos and different piercings. Okay, so the difference between formal and informal deviance. Okay, formal deviance includes criminal violation of formally enacted laws. Criminal violation of formally enacted laws. Examples include robbery, theft, rape, murder, and assault. Okay, that is formal deviance, criminal violation against laws. Informal deviance refers to violations of informal social norms, right? We've talked lots about social norms, which are norms that have not been codified into law. Examples include picking one's nose, belching loudly, standing unnecessarily close to another person, especially right now with COVID. So it's informal breaking of social norms. Maybe it's walking the wrong way in the hallway. Okay. Now we're going to get into a few of the theories. Okay, so keep in mind, there is no all-encompassing theory that describes deviance. If there was, there'd probably be a lot less people in jail and prison because we could figure out what's going on there. But there's not one tell-all theory that describes why people do deviant things. We are going to look at 6 main theories: the sociobiological theory, the anomic strain theory, cultural transmission theory, control theory, labeling theory, and conflict theory. Okay, all sociological theories trying to explain why people do deviant things. We'll talk about a couple of them today. So, the sociobiological theory. This theory says that rooted in some component of our human makeup is deviance. Okay, so it has to do with chemistry of the brain. An example might be genes, hormones, brain structure, etc. Okay, so the sociobiological theory is stating that deviance can be inherited. Okay, that deviance can be inherited based on your genetic makeup. Consider behaviors such as alcoholism, drug addiction, aggression, mental illness. Okay, oftentimes those are hereditary. Okay? They can run in the family. So the sociobiological theory would argue that those 4 behaviors are examples as to why deviance is genetic. Okay. However, we have to think about identical twins. Sorry guys, this computer is so slow, it's out to get me. Okay, so identical twins, right? Some identical twins become deviant, become criminals, and the other one doesn't. There are lots of twin studies out there, but identical twins have identical genetic makeup. So then why would one turn into a criminal and the other one? Or why would one become an alcoholic when the other wouldn't? We'll come back to that. Okay, I'm just going to introduce a little bit of the anomic strain theory, but we're not going to get totally into it today. Okay. So, sociobiological theory, introduction to deviance. If you have any questions, let me know. Other than that, I hope you have